I am Dietmar Doering, engaged in Sri Lanka for the last 37 years and presently the CEO of the Asian German Research Institute. Yeah, welcome back to my first vlog in 2023, the new year. And before I start, I wish you a happy, a healthy, a prosperous 2023 and courage to stem all the challenges which are in front of you, in front of all of us, and a never giving up will. Yeah, and that is what we need, a never giving up will. Now this vlog here today, I have prepared the actual caution notices publicized in the internet by the following countries. Caution notices related to travels to Sri Lanka by Germany, Austria, Switzerland, France, Great Britain, Norway and Canada. So I have extracted the key warning indications what these countries have publicized in their websites from the Foreign Ministry side. With Germany and Austria I will start. They say in their leading front sentence, avoid non-essential travels to Sri Lanka, which translates into do not undertake a tourist visit to Sri Lanka. So discouraging any tourist, do not visit Sri Lanka on tourism purposes. And they cite very interesting, they are citing, for example, in the German caution notice, unexploded mines and ordinances can be hazards in the north and northeast of Sri Lanka. Now we all know that we have balance of unexploded mines in these areas, but they are nicely guarded, they are demarcated, and the anti-mining groups are there who are doing their jobs. Tourists will not go to these areas, but mentioning that in their description about their travel advice is unbelievable. It has no whatsoever relationship to the factual ground situation here in Sri Lanka. Switzerland says petty crime is increasing. I'm coming to that later. Petty crime is increasing. And this is a general term, completely unspecified. It's an unspecified generalization by saying petty crime is increasing. As to what percentage? What is the meaning of petty crime is increasing in Sri Lanka? I mean, petty crime is existing all over the world, but here in the Switzerland, in the Swiss caution notice, they say in Sri Lanka, petty crime is increasing. It goes further. Foreign women are increasingly, here again, unspecified figuring, foreign women are increasingly becoming victims of rape and other sexual offenses. This is again a completely unspecified generalization. They should have got at least some data from police enforcements, law enforcements, to specify the figure here. What is meaning? Foreign women are increasingly becoming victims of rape and other sexual offenses. There has to be a figure, no, in percentage. Great Britain in their travel advice says Sri Lanka is experiencing a severe economic crisis which has led to shortages of basic necessities. Not specifying what is the basic necessities, including medicines, cooking gas, fuel and food. Now, we had shortages, and I must say I'm traveling around the island frequently all over. I did not experience a shortage of basic food necessities. I'm getting my rice, my potatoes, my vegetables, my fruits and all that. Now, exotic fruits maybe sometimes. Apples are a little bit short, but even apples now in the supermarkets can get, and even in the local markets. They say further, curfews and emergency regulations may also be imposed. What is that type of a sense? Also a generalization. Absolutely, curfews and emergency regulations, they can be imposed in any country in the world, not only in Sri Lanka. It goes further. Norway, now I come into Norway. They say in their publications, the economic situation in Sri Lanka has deteriorated significantly in recent months. It's the opposite. It's not that the economic situation has deteriorated significantly. No, it had been relaxed significantly in recent months. And they write, due to the lack of basic needs, such as fuel and certain food products. Here again, the generalization, the generalized word, certain food. Why not specifying that? Why not specifying that the essential food items are available and certain food is not available? I don't know what products they mean. That results in long queues in several shops. So first of all, long queues I did not experience in the last 2 months. And in several shops, such as supermarkets. Also when I go to supermarkets, in any supermarket here, these are Food City, Kiels, and some others, I have not experienced long queues in supermarkets. Not a single one. Gas stations, they mention also gas stations. We have the quota systems now. There is no long queues in gas stations. That's a matter of the past, and it happened in the past, of course. But this is the actual travel advice, which is valid as at today. In our high season, these months, November, December, January, February, is the high season. So potential travelers who are looking to these sites, they will read that, they will say, oh, it's a difficult situation in Sri Lanka. And pharmacies, they mention, of course, pharmacies is the same. We had long queues earlier, but now it's relaxed. But the top hit, what I have gathered out of this, is Canada. Canada, also they have hit the nail, and they have exaggerated this to a level I have not read and heard it before. I will read that what Canada is publicizing in their caution notice regarding Sri Lanka. The first sentence, there is a threat of terrorism. Now imagine that. There's a threat of terrorism. Now we had it 3 years before, now nearly 4 years before with the Easter bombings. Thereafter nothing, zero, nothing. There's a threat of terrorism. Violent crime occurs, including harassment and assault aimed at Western foreigners. Again, a generalization, no specific data, nothing. And it goes further, that is the hit point here. Intercommunal and religious tensions exist throughout the country and have led to violence. Totally irrelevant, where are these intercommunal and religious tensions? They're existing, it's not a matter of the past. They have used present tense here in this. Totally generalized and exaggerated up to the sky. Road conditions are usually poor outside major cities. I don't know. Also when I travel here through the country, the road system has dramatically improved. We have good roads. Whether I go to the north or to the east or to the south or to the west, we have good roads. Only the very small, narrow by roads, of course, there should be improvement, but the major roads are all perfectly. And it says, travel by bus is generally unsafe due to aggressive drivers and the risk of theft. It is absolutely unbelievable what they write. And it goes further. Many illnesses can be caused by eating food or drinking beverages contaminated by various diseases. Many diseases are spread by the bites of infected insects such as mosquitoes and ticks, fleas and flies. And it goes further. Bacteria, parasites, toxins or viruses, or by swimming or bathing in contaminated waters. No words. Travelers are cautioned to avoid contact with animals, including dogs, livestock, pigs, cows, monkeys, snakes, rodents, birds and bats, and to avoid eating undercooked wild game. And then it goes to the last, this is absolutely ridiculous. Sri Lanka is located in an active seismic zone and may be prone to earthquakes and tsunamis. I just told to my secretary, the only thing what in this caution notice is not mentioned is the appearance of zombies somewhere in some parts of the island. Not specified, not confirmed, but there might be significant number of zombies in some regions in Sri Lanka, so beware of that. So what it says in a summary, all of these sayings here, Sri Lanka experience unspecified generalizations. That is what is said, petty crime is increasing, foreign women are increasingly becoming victims, the economic situation has deteriorated significantly, there is a lack of basic foods or needs, certain foods, long queues in several shops, and these malicious, misleading and generalized caution notices, maybe not the only reason, but certainly contribute to the significant drop of tourist arrivals to Sri Lanka in recent times. We will publicize the arrival data of December 2022 in a short time, no sooner when we are getting the data. So here my conclusions: if the Sri Lankan hospitality sector does not counter this type of indiscriminate caution notice vehemently, even by way of looking to take legal steps out of Sri Lanka, probably in Singapore there is arbitrary courts also, they can handle these matters, and I have got some telephone calls from some lawyers who are connected to the hospitality sector. We were discussing that, whether it's possible. Then if nothing happens, Sri Lanka will suffer in future. But on the other hand, it is also understood that the state sector has limited interest to antagonize these big countries because they have diplomatic bilateral agreements, and that may jeopardize the connections and the bilateral connections to countries. We can understand that, so we cannot expect from the Sri Lanka Tourist Development Authority to come here in front. I think that is a matter of the private sector. But we as a united hospitality sector are free to act and to stand for our industry and for the people who are employed and working and getting their daily bread and butter out of that. So let's do it. I'm awaiting your comments and suggestions. Please write and contact us. And in this one thing, make Lanka great again. Yours, Dietmar Doering from Marina here. I say goodbye.